In an age where technology and military advancements are rapidly progressing, it is not unusual for the public to catch glimpses of activities that remain shrouded in secrecy. One such instance occurred when an anonymous scientist reportedly posted a photograph of a laser beam striking the ground near a military base in the United States. The image, which was shared briefly on a personal website, depicted an intense, focused beam of light, unmistakably artificial in nature, piercing through the atmosphere and hitting the ground close to the base. However, shortly after the image went live, the website was mysteriously shut down, leaving the public with unanswered questions and fueling a wave of speculation about what was really happening near the base. This photograph has since ignited widespread debate about military activities and technological experiments that are being conducted behind closed doors. Some believe that the image is proof of advanced weapons testing, while others suggest that it might be evidence of extraterrestrial involvement or undisclosed research into new forms of energy. Although the scientist behind the photograph has remained anonymous, their brief moment of disclosure has opened the floodgates for researchers and enthusiasts to explore the possibility of a cover-up. The photograph in question showed what appeared to be a powerful laser beam shooting from an unknown source in the sky, descending with precision to the ground near a restricted military area. The beam was captured in sharp focus, clearly distinguishable from any natural light phenomenon. The intensity of the light, combined with the isolated location, immediately raised suspicions that this was not a conventional occurrence. Speculation about the source of the laser ranged from military weapons tests to satellite-based energy beams, or even something more otherworldly. What made the image particularly intriguing was the clarity with which it depicted the beam. Unlike many grainy or inconclusive images shared online, this photograph left little room for ambiguity. It showed a straight, controlled beam of light directed at the Earth. Viewers who saw the photograph before the website was taken down noted the beam's unnatural brightness and uniformity, which set it apart from anything normally seen in the sky. Moreover, the location of the photograph near a US military base added another layer of intrigue. Military installations, particularly those involved in cutting-edge research and weapons development, are often the subject of speculation and secrecy. The fact that the beam was captured in proximity to a military base led many to believe that the photograph had inadvertently captured a classified experiment or weapons test in progress. What happened after the image was posted added even more mystery to the situation. According to several sources, shortly after the anonymous scientist uploaded the photograph to their personal website, the site was abruptly shut down. Attempts to access the site yielded nothing, and there was no explanation given for its sudden disappearance. The scientist's identity has never been revealed, and no further attempts were made to re-upload the image or provide additional context, with many even going as far as saying that the individual in question who shared the image may have been harmed, adding that people who have come forward with similar evidence in the past have suddenly vanished for sharing similar photographs. This swift shutdown has only fueled speculation that the image captured something the public was not supposed to see. Some believe that the military or another government entity may have intervened to suppress the image and prevent further investigation. The speed with which the website was taken offline suggests that whatever was depicted in the photograph was sensitive enough to warrant immediate action. The photograph and its subsequent disappearance have given rise to a number of theories, ranging from advanced weapons testing to extraterrestrial involvement. Among the more grounded explanations is the idea that the laser beam was part of a directed energy weapons test. Directed energy weapons, which use focused energy in the form of lasers, microwaves, or particle beams to damage or incapacitate targets, have been the subject of research and development for years. The US military has long been rumored to be working on laser-based weapons capable of disabling enemy missiles, drones, or other targets from long distances. If the photograph did indeed capture such a test, the military's decision to shut down the website could be seen as an effort to prevent the public from gaining insight into classified weapons technology. Lasers have a number of potential military applications, from missile defense systems to high-powered weapons capable of targeting satellites or ground-based infrastructure. The United States and other countries have been working on these technologies for years, but much of the research is kept under wraps for national security reasons. Another theory proposes that the beam could be related to satellite-based energy transmission, a technology that would involve the use of space-based lasers to send energy to Earth. This concept, though still in its early stages, is being explored by scientists as a way to harness solar energy from space and transmit it back to Earth using lasers. If such an experiment were underway near a military base, it would make sense for the government to keep it secret until the technology is fully developed. However, for those more inclined toward the extraterrestrial hypothesis, the laser beam captured in the photograph could be evidence of something far more mysterious. There have been numerous reports over the years of strange lights and phenomena near military bases, leading some to believe that there may be a connection between UFO activity and military operations. In this context, the laser beam could be seen as either an alien technology or a response to extraterrestrial activity. While these ideas remain speculative, they persist in the imaginations of many who believe that we are not alone in the universe. One of the most perplexing aspects of this story is the silence of the anonymous scientist who posted the photograph. Despite the intense interest generated by the image, the individual has never come forward to provide more details or context. It is unclear whether this is due to fear of retaliation, a government warning, or simply a desire to remain out of the public eye. Whatever the reason, the scientist's decision to stay silent has only heightened the mystery surrounding the photograph. In the absence of further information, the public has been left to speculate and debate the significance of the laser beam. Online forums and social media platforms have become hotbeds of discussion, with users dissecting the few available details in an attempt to uncover the truth. Some believe that the scientist was pressured into taking down the website, while others think the shutdown was voluntary, perhaps out of fear or concern for personal safety. The possibility that the anonymous scientist's photograph captured the testing of a secret military weapon is one of the most compelling theories to emerge from this mysterious incident. Military organizations worldwide are known for conducting highly classified tests on advanced technologies, and the United States in particular has been a leader in the development of cutting-edge defense systems. The laser beam in the photograph, if real, could represent evidence of a directed energy weapon being tested, a technology that has long been the subject of both military research and public fascination. The fact that the photograph was reportedly taken near a military base strengthens this theory. Military installations are often shrouded in secrecy, particularly those involved in experimental weapons development, and it's possible that the beam was part of a covert weapons test that inadvertently became visible to someone outside the program. If this was indeed the case, the swift shutdown of the scientist's website could have been a deliberate action to prevent sensitive information from reaching the public. In recent years, directed energy weapons have become a key area of research for the US military. These weapons rely on focused energy, typically in the form of lasers, microwaves, or particle beams, to incapacitate or destroy targets. Unlike traditional kinetic weapons, such as bullets or missiles, these weapons offer several advantages, including the ability to hit targets at the speed of light, increased precision, and minimal collateral damage. Additionally, because they don't rely on physical ammunition, they can potentially be used repeatedly without the need for reloading. The United States has already made significant progress in the development of laser weapons, with several branches of the military experimenting with laser systems capable of targeting missiles, drones, aircraft, and even ground-based threats. For example, the US Navy has successfully tested laser systems mounted on ships, capable of disabling enemy drones and small boats. These systems are seen as a next-generation defense mechanism, offering the potential to protect military assets from increasingly sophisticated airborne threats. Given the advanced state of this research, it's entirely plausible that the laser beam captured in the photograph could have been part of a test for one of these weapons. Such tests are typically conducted in remote areas, far from the public eye, and often near military bases where security and secrecy can be maintained. If the beam seen in the photograph was a directed energy weapon in action, the test may have involved targeting a specific location on the ground, which could explain why the beam appeared to be striking the Earth in such a focused manner. One of the key questions surrounding the photograph is how the anonymous scientist managed to capture such a precise image of the laser beam. There are several possible explanations for how this might have occurred. It's possible that the scientist was conducting unrelated research, perhaps photographing atmospheric or weather phenomena when the laser beam appeared in the frame. If the beam was part of a brief, high-intensity weapons test, it could have been visible only for a few moments, just long enough for the scientist to snap a picture. Given that the beam was reportedly near a military base, the test may have been unexpected, and the scientist could have been in the right place at the right time to capture the event. Another possibility is that the scientist was already aware of unusual activity near the base and was monitoring the area for signs of secret tests. Researchers, amateur and professional alike, often keep an eye on military bases known for testing new technologies. With the availability of advanced camera equipment and high-resolution satellite imagery, it's not impossible that the scientists had positioned themselves in a location where they could capture an image of any unusual activity. In this case, the laser beam may have been the result of careful observation over time. Some have speculated that the photograph might not have been taken from the ground at all, but rather from a remote device, such as a satellite or drone. If the scientist had access to such technology, they may have been able to capture the beam from above, offering a different perspective than what would be seen from the ground. The high altitude of a satellite or drone could allow for a clearer view of the beam as it descended to the Earth's surface, making the image even more striking. Military tests, especially those involving advanced technologies like directed energy weapons, are typically conducted under strict secrecy. The US military has a long history of conducting experiments that are classified at the highest levels, often taking place in isolated regions to avoid public exposure. Some of these tests have been declassified years or even decades later, but many remain shrouded in mystery. The sudden shutdown of the scientist's website shortly after the photograph was shared suggests that the image may have shown something the public was not meant to see. Government entities, particularly the military, have the authority to restrict or suppress information related to national security, and if the photograph did indeed capture a classified weapons test, it's likely that the military acted quickly to remove it from the public domain. The laser beam itself, if part of a weapons test, may have been targeted at a controlled area on the ground, either as part of a calibration process or to test the weapon's effectiveness against certain materials or structures. These tests are often carried out in remote areas to minimize the risk of accidents or exposure to civilians, but in this case, the beam may have inadvertently been visible to someone outside the testing program. If the scientist truly captured a secret military test, the implications are significant. The photograph could serve as evidence of ongoing military research into directed energy weapons or other cutting-edge technologies. The United States has long been at the forefront of such research, and while much of it is classified, occasional leaks or accidental disclosures, like the photograph in question, offer rare glimpses into what might be happening behind closed doors. The rapid shutdown of the website could also indicate that the military is actively trying to prevent public discussion or speculation about the test. Secrecy is often prioritized in defense programs to prevent adversaries from gaining insight into military capabilities or vulnerabilities. In this case, the photograph's release may have been seen as a threat to national security, leading to swift action to remove it from circulation. The story of the anonymous scientist who posted the photograph of a laser beam hitting the ground near a US military base brings to light a broader issue: the inherent dangers faced by those who attempt to expose classified information. Throughout history, whistleblowers who have come forward with sensitive or classified evidence have often faced serious repercussions. Whether the disclosure involves military technology, government secrets, or controversial programs, those who reveal such information risk their careers, freedom, and in some cases, their personal safety. While the scientist in this case chose to remain anonymous and has since gone silent, the swift shutdown of their website raises concerns about the lengths to which powerful institutions may go to suppress sensitive information. Over the years, several high-profile whistleblowers have come forward to reveal classified information, only to suffer retaliation, ranging from harassment and threats to imprisonment and even suspicious accidents. This reality raises an important question: what happens to those who dare to challenge the secrecy of powerful institutions by revealing the truth? Whistleblowers who expose government or military secrets often find themselves in precarious positions, as the information they reveal is usually classified under national security laws. While some whistleblowers have been hailed as heroes for their bravery, many face significant consequences, especially when the information they reveal involves advanced military technology or covert government programs. One of the most well-known whistleblowers is Edward Snowden, a former NSA contractor who leaked classified information about mass surveillance programs conducted by the US government. Although his revelations sparked widespread debate about privacy and government overreach, Snowden was forced to flee the country and seek asylum abroad. He remains in exile, unable to return to the United States without facing espionage charges that could result in a lengthy prison sentence. In these cases, whistleblowers became international figures, but the repercussions they faced were severe. Harassment, legal prosecution, and imprisonment are often used as tools to deter individuals from coming forward with classified evidence. For those who work within sensitive sectors like the military, intelligence, or defense, the risks are even higher due to the classified nature of their work. Revealing secrets in these fields can result not only in professional ruin, but also in life-threatening consequences. When it comes to revealing classified military technology, whistleblowers are often at even greater risk. The development of advanced weapons systems or covert military operations is typically shrouded in secrecy to protect national security. Those who work within these projects often sign non-disclosure agreements or are bound by laws that prohibit the sharing of classified information. Breaching these agreements can result in serious legal action, but in some cases, the consequences go beyond the legal system. Even more alarming are the cases of whistleblowers who have experienced mysterious accidents or threats after coming forward with sensitive information. While the exact number of these cases is unknown due to the covert nature of such retaliation, there have been instances where whistleblowers involved in high-profile disclosures have died under suspicious circumstances. Some advocates believe that these incidents are the result of targeted intimidation designed to silence potential whistleblowers and prevent others from coming forward. In some cases, whistleblowers are subjected to harassment, threats, or accidents that raise questions about whether they are being targeted for their disclosures. While these situations are often difficult to prove definitively, they add to the atmosphere of fear surrounding whistleblowing. Other whistleblowers who also exposed NSA surveillance activities have reported being subjected to intimidation tactics. Even low-profile whistleblowers, whose cases do not attract the same level of media attention as Snowden or Manning, can face life-altering consequences. Many find themselves ostracized, losing their jobs, livelihoods, and even personal relationships after revealing classified information. For whistleblowers within the military or government sectors, these risks are amplified, as their actions are often seen as not just breaches of confidentiality, but as threats to national security. In the case of the anonymous scientist who shared the photograph of the laser beam near the US military base, it's possible that they feared retaliation or harm after realizing the implications of their disclosure. The rapid shutdown of their website suggests that the information they revealed was sensitive, and the potential consequences of revealing such evidence could have been significant. While the scientist has chosen to remain anonymous, their silence raises the possibility that they were pressured or threatened to avoid further disclosure. In cases involving classified military technology, the risks of coming forward are substantial. The military and intelligence communities are known to closely monitor any leaks of classified information, and whistleblowers who reveal such details may be subject to surveillance, harassment, or worse. The fact that the photograph was related to laser technology near a military base, likely part of a classified weapons test, means that the stakes for revealing it could be high. If the beam was part of an advanced weapons system, the government would have a vested interest in keeping it secret. Any effort to expose the test could be seen as a threat to national security, and the anonymous scientist might have been warned not to reveal further details. Whistleblowers play an essential role in modern society by shining a light on misconduct, corruption, and illegal activities that would otherwise remain hidden from public view. Whether they expose unethical corporate behavior, government overreach, or clandestine military programs, whistleblowers are often the last line of defense in ensuring transparency and accountability. Their willingness to come forward, often at great personal risk, helps protect the integrity of public institutions, democratic processes, and the rule of law. Although whistleblowers frequently face significant personal and professional consequences, their actions have profound and far-reaching effects. They act as catalysts for change, driving reforms and investigations that can expose wrongdoing and lead to improvements in systems and policies. Despite the risks, whistleblowers are vital because they help uphold the principles of justice, fairness, and public accountability, serving as a critical check on abuses of power. One of the most important roles that whistleblowers play is in exposing corruption and misconduct within governments, corporations, and other powerful institutions. By coming forward with evidence of wrongdoing, whistleblowers force these institutions to answer for their actions. Whether the wrongdoing involves financial fraud, environmental violations, or breaches of ethical conduct, whistleblowers ensure that those who abuse their power are held accountable. In many cases, the activities exposed by whistleblowers are systemic, affecting thousands or even millions of people. Without whistleblowers, such misconduct might have continued unchecked for years, causing further harm to the economy, employees, and consumers. Within government, whistleblowers are often responsible for revealing the misuse of public funds, illegal surveillance activities, or even violations of human rights. Edward Snowden, for instance, exposed the extent of the US government's mass surveillance programs, sparking a global debate about privacy, civil liberties, and government overreach. His revelations led to significant public discussions and reforms in surveillance practices, highlighting the importance of whistleblowers in holding governments accountable for their actions. Whistleblowers also play a crucial role in protecting public health and safety. Whether it involves exposing unsafe working conditions, hazardous environmental practices, or the concealment of health risks, whistleblowers help ensure that the public is aware of threats to their well-being. These actions have the potential to save lives, prevent disasters, and hold corporations or government agencies responsible for negligence. In many instances, whistleblowers serve as defenders of human rights and social justice, speaking out against abuses that would otherwise remain hidden. This is particularly important in cases involving governments or corporations operating in regions where transparency is limited and where abuses may be ignored or actively covered up by those in power. Whistleblowers who expose war crimes, human rights violations, or unethical practices in the military or intelligence agencies often face immense personal risk. They may be charged with espionage, labeled as traitors, or forced into exile. Yet, their efforts can lead to greater awareness of injustices and prompt international pressure for accountability. The military is often entrusted with vast financial resources and operates under a strict chain of command. Unfortunately, these circumstances can sometimes create opportunities for corruption, abuse of power, and wasteful spending. Military whistleblowers play a crucial role in identifying and exposing these issues, preventing the misuse of public funds and ensuring that military operations are conducted with integrity. Instances of contract fraud, bribery, and misappropriation of funds have been uncovered by whistleblowers who are willing to risk their careers to speak out. For example, during certain wars, numerous whistleblowers exposed fraudulent practices by private contractors providing services to the military. These whistleblowers revealed that companies had overcharged the government for services, cut corners in their work, or even endangered the lives of soldiers by providing substandard equipment. By exposing corruption, military whistleblowers protect taxpayer dollars and help maintain the efficiency and effectiveness of military operations. Without their courage, vast sums of money could be siphoned away from critical military projects, compromising national security and the well-being of military personnel. Democracies rely on transparency, free press, and an informed citizenry to function effectively. Whistleblowers contribute to the health of democracy by exposing actions that undermine public trust and weaken democratic institutions. By bringing hidden truths to light, they help maintain the integrity of democratic processes, ensuring that governments remain accountable to the people they serve. Without whistleblowers, it is easy for powerful institutions to operate in secrecy, shielded from public scrutiny. This secrecy creates an environment ripe for corruption, abuse of power, and the erosion of civil liberties. Whistleblowers, acting as watchdogs, help prevent such dangers by ensuring that the public remains informed about activities that could otherwise threaten democratic governance. In cases where whistleblowers reveal electoral manipulation, political corruption, or government overreach, they help protect the democratic process and uphold the public's right to know the truth. In many ways, whistleblowers serve as an essential check on power, ensuring that no institution is immune from accountability. One of the most powerful outcomes of whistleblowing is the potential to inspire change and reform. While whistleblowers may face significant personal consequences, their disclosures often lead to widespread investigations, public outrage, and ultimately, systemic changes aimed at preventing further misconduct. Whistleblower revelations often spark investigations by journalists, independent watchdog organizations, and government oversight bodies. These investigations can result in new regulations, policies, and practices that aim to correct the wrongdoing uncovered. For example, many of the financial regulations that followed the 2008 financial crisis were driven in part by whistleblower disclosures that revealed unethical banking practices. The courage of whistleblowers often inspires others to take action, whether it be fellow employees coming forward with additional evidence or policymakers pushing for stronger oversight. While change may not always come immediately, the long-term impact of whistleblower actions often leads to improved systems that better serve the public interest. As of right now, whistleblowers are essential in maintaining transparency, accountability, and integrity in both the public and private sectors. They serve as the eyes and ears of the public, exposing misconduct, corruption, and abuses of power that would otherwise remain hidden. By risking their careers, reputations, and sometimes their lives, whistleblowers hold powerful institutions accountable and protect the public's right to know. In a world where secrecy often protects those in power, whistleblowers are critical to upholding justice, safeguarding human rights, and defending democracy.